Well, you know, man, like I said, we kind of talked about it half. It's not the sharpest thing in the world. I mean, some of the hurry-up stuff, getting guys in and out. We got our own stuff to work on. The reality is that 4-6, A to B, that relentless mentality to get a fourth down stop on the goal line, huge momentum swings and things like that. We can't fault them. They're doing exactly what the culture of the program is and what we ask them to do. But there's a lot of things that we can sharpen up as well.
Do you guys feel extra pressure in a game? You know, the offense, JT's having to carry the ball 24 times, not even getting 100 yards throwing the ball. I mean, do you talk to your guys about that? You know, this is a time to step up X, Y, Z even more when the offense isn't performing like that.
Yeah, I mean, we love it. I mean, that's you know, it was kind of one of them old-fashioned defensive football games a little bit, but we know. I mean, everybody's going to struggle at some point in time.
Sure.
Things are going to happen, but we know that when the shoe's on the other foot, that you know, when we start to reel a little bit, they scored a touchdown with the offense. They went right back out there, drove the length of the field, scored. So the beautiful thing about it is we know we rely on one another, whether it's offense, defense, special teams, and that's not going to change.
You guys,
what do you say about the team having a fourth-quarter touchdown all season?
You know what? Those are those little stat things I don't know a lot about, but I know this that they play hard. And whoever's in the game, you know, you got a guy go down, and all of a sudden, you know, Joe Berger runs in there and does a great job. Gary on Conley's getting sent to the sideline, another corner comes in. There's not a drop off, and you know, we like to say we're going to play our best ball in the year. We're going to play our best ball in the fourth quarter when it comes down to close.
Luke, through 5 weeks, no rushing touchdowns. That's almost unheard of to make it this late in the season. Why are your guys so good up front at, you know, not allowing that to happen?
I mean, it's a philosophy of what we do, and you know, there's some things we're going to challenge. We put some pressure on them corners now. You know, I mean, we get down there in that red zone, and there's a lot of man coverage. Not that we don't play a lot out in the field, but you know, we're going to stack some things up and force them to try to throw the football. And you know, it's paying off for us, but we can do it because we got those guys that can cover and put a lot of pressure on those guys. So that's why we got to be able to work together. And everybody's got some roles to do, and some guys' jobs at some point in time are harder than the others. That's one of those ones right there for the corners that you know, we rely on them a lot.
You guys had to hear all offseason about how much you guys lost on defense. And did that kind of give them a chip on the shoulder, and is their confidence growing week by week? Do you see any of that at all?
It is. Now, being able to handle some success and some of those things and not worrying about, well, we haven't give up a rushing touchdown or where do we rank. We know we keep it pretty simple. We don't talk about goals. We got one goal to be the best. We talk about objectives, and those are things that we focus on every single day, whether it's every week or every day. You know, we're going to put our fundamentals on film. We're going to grind every day, and we're going to love our brothers. And those are the things that we focus on. It's not how many rushing yards, how many passing yards. Those things will take care of themselves at the end of the year, and we ultimately know we got to play our best. Again, we try not to focus on those things. We talk about it as, you know, when the silver bullets, when they talk about 4 units come together as one. Everything in this program is about power of the unit. And Coach always preaches that, and the reality is when we walk on that field and when we get together in some situations, and we talk about 4 units coming together as one, and we call those guys the silver bullets. And we try to not worry about, you know, we say we have the motto that together everyone achieves more, and not worry about who's getting the credit. We all kind of argue, they fuss. There are some things we were doing this week, well, you know, who's going to get the pick, and you know, the corners or the safeties, but the reality is it's all in good fun. We know ultimately we're going to have to go out there and play. And you know, you got a guy like Raekwon McMillan who's, you know, as good as I've been around, and you know, his name might not get called nearly as much. He doesn't have some of the splash plays. He didn't have a pick six like Jerome Baker or Malik Hooker. But you know what? I don't know where we'd be without him.
I was going to ask you about Raekwon McMillan. What in your opinion makes him so great? You've been around some great linebackers, that you've played with some great linebackers, you've coached some great linebackers. What are the intangibles that make Raekwon McMillan such a great linebacker for Ohio State?
He's very comparable to James Laurinaitis, and what I mean by that is he's a natural-born leader, and he's a guy that truly believes in the definition we talk about. It leaders make others around him better, and he's not worried about himself. You know, and ultimately, to be that middle linebacker guy out there, that you got to be able to kind of control the show, run the show, take some heat upon yourself, and he has an incredible ability to do that. The ability to be humble and a worker. And I think those are the things that you never had no idea going in the recruiting process and what you really were going to get. You knew you were going to get a good football player, a guy that could run. But to have the intangibles that was instilled in him, whether it's from his mother growing up or even from his high school program, is unbelievable.
You talked about Jerome, Chris, some of the other guys that are filling in at the other positions. How happy are you with their progress thus far? I mean, stepping into some new positions. Linebacker is a huge position at Ohio State. Raekwon was that guy in the middle. How happy are you with the other guys on the outside right now?
I couldn't be more happy, to be honest with you. I mean, the guy that we don't talk about too is Chris Worley.
Yeah.
And if you said that who's the heart and the soul, Raekwon's the leader, but who's the heart and the soul? Who brings the most most energy? Who's the guy that, if you're having a bad day, whether it's a coach or a player, who do you want to go get right next to?
Yeah.
It's Chris Worley, because he's going to provide passion and energy every single day. He's going to go out there. He's going to fight his butt off. He's going to do everything he has to do. And he loves his brothers. And I don't know. I wouldn't want to go through a day without, having him around or being with him.